루틴 경기장 도시형.
All right, our red Terran from the team Dignitas, cracking a whip like Simon Belmont. Yeah. In this team league today, it is Select. The music just got me thinking Castlevania, man. All right, and on the bottom right part of the map in the blue, from the team NSHoSeo, it is none other than San, a deadly opponent.
Yes, it is, as a matter of fact. The map is Calm Before the Storm, which we mentioned before. This is a very, very, very good tournament map. And in these positions, it'll be certainly interesting as well. Yeah. It's a big enough map that the effect of the rotational symmetry is pretty well minimized. Thank you.
Minimized.
Yes. But there is still the possibility Select moves into heavy drops. He has a pretty short access into his opponent's natural that's behind his main.
Yeah, that is something that Protoss always needs to worry about on this map, obviously. You know, I thought it was the best PvT map that there is right now in the current, general tournament rotation in most tournaments. But the one thing that you really need to watch out for is that expansion, especially in these spawning positions. So that's actually going to be really good for Select's style of play. So San's not going to get out of this too easily, but we'll see what he decides to do. I think that's a good decision already, not going for the Nexus first. It's so tempting to do that on this map, but against someone like Select, you just cannot take that risk.
And it looks like that's precisely what Select's going to do. He's going to go CC first.
And that is a good idea by Select because everyone's expecting him to be aggressive. So
and San's usually a pretty diligent player as well about making sure that he's always got like a cannon and a Templar sitting in the back to defend against drops and stuff along those lines. So I think this is going to be a pretty even matchup. This is going to be a battle of wills between these two players, whether or not Select can actually get his aggression going later on.
Battle of Wits as well.
I think it's going to be entertaining. I'm really looking forward to this game.
Battle of Wits, of course, the best Magic the Gathering card ever printed. You don't know what it does, but I'll tell you later.
We've been playing. Okay, I'm a Magic newbie.
Magic nerds out there laugh at that.
That's true. I'm a self-admitted total Magic newbie. I have been trying to play quite a bit recently, but they are slowly but surely getting me into it.
I'm working on it.
Yep. It's true.
I may have lost my box of decks over the weekend, though. I hope I find those.
No, we're going to find it. Don't. Yes. Hold out hope.
Oh, well.
We're going to find it. Anyway, so, all right, Select putting up his first bunker up at the front, and we'll see how many racks he adds on before he decides to move into gas. If it's the Select I know, it'll probably, right away. Never mind. Oh, la-dee-da, Mr. Select. Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
All right. Well, he's got some options here. I mean, some Terran players once in a while like to kind of throw a wrench into the plans of their Protoss opponent. Go for something like Banshees after this and try to just stay safe. You notice that he did wall off. So, I don't know. We'll have to kind of wait and see. I'm really curious now to see what he's got planned. He could just be planning on getting the gas for a little bit faster upgrades.
Yeah,
but
sure.
We don't know yet.
I mean, because especially once you go into that second command center so fast, you are going to put up, you're just going to collect minerals at such a great rate that it's not a bad idea to get that gas a little bit earlier.
There's a second barrack, so we probably aren't going to see anything crazy like Banshees, and then I think that's probably the safer thing to do, too.
I agree.
But you never know. It's out there. The build is out there.
Second gas coming up now
for
San.
Go back to the, is that some Nern route growing by that Nexus there on the left?
The one on the left? Look. Oh, yeah. No, that actually popped up on r/StarCraft. Someone's like, after so long of playing Skyrim, I have to say, collect the Nern route.
It's not the red Nern route, though. It's not worth quite as much.
It's not red Nern route. But
fast engineering bay again for Select as well, so he definitely likes to get those upgrades going. Oh, Zealot. Kung Fu SCV getting away somehow.
Very nice.
Jackie Chan flipped over that guy.
And it looks like Select is going to go to 4 racks in total. So,
wow.
Not a bad response after putting up that very fast command center.
Yep.
We'll see what San has in store for our opponent, though. Looks like it is going to be a robotics facility for now, and there's the additional gateways being added.
Yep, that's right. Gate is probably the safest way to go for a 1-gate expand. A lot of Protoss players will tell you. You can get the Robo stuff out early. More importantly, you can get the Observer out early to do some scouting. That's quite helpful. And that's not a surprising reaction from San, considering that, again, he can't get in to see what's going on inside the base of Select, so he needs to get that Robo early so he can find out.
Okay, so here we have it, ladies and gentlemen, as things are going to start slowly developing now as both players start to macro up and we see strategies start to take shape. And there's a Warp Prism coming out now for San.
Awesome. I like it. You can see your opponent's base and also possibly wreck part of it at the same time.
That's very true.
That's not bad at all. Select looks like he's going to be doing a little bit of a poke here.
Oh, he's got to watch out.
Yeah, I was going to say, he needs to be careful about how far away he goes from the base right now. And if he's been playing on the Korean ladder, which I'm sure he has quite a bit, he's probably had to deal with Warp Prism harassment on a fairly frequent basis. So I don't think he's going to be too phased by this. Yeah, he's not even moving very far out from his map.
And it is going to be that 4-sentry drop, which can be oh so annoying. You can trap quite a few SCVs there and prevent reinforcements from running in. Like if San wanted to go up and around and take this out, he could continually, you know, force field off that main or something like that.
I got to say, I'm a little bit worried about San's Warp Prism here. He's going to be flying right over where San is if he's not careful.
All right, well, he's making his way up, and it looks like Select has a lot of units in store. We'll see where he decides to drop down.
Turns at the last second here, and he's just kind of using it for vision. Oh, he's going to force field some units in on the cliff.
Yeah,
if he can. Select sees that, though.
And a couple of Stalkers are coming up now, and it looks like he may sacrifice one of these supply depots. Oh, these sentries have to watch out. They are in range. It looks like San is just going to press forward. That supply depot is not long for this world. It goes down.
You know, it's nice to wall in as Terran sometimes to restrict information, but it does make you very vulnerable to losing those depots later on. You need to be prepared for that. So that is what we're seeing here.
Definitely. And let's see here as Select going to back his way up at the moment. One Zealot tries to test the waters and decides, nope, 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 nope. Run it back down.
I'm not that zealous.
That is true. So let's see here. Select now got quite a few units out. A nice selective stim right there because
selective stim.
Well, it was, though. He grabs it. You shut up. He's got a few units, and just wants to make sure that he can... He catches San a little bit off guard there. Just runs up and picks off a couple of units.
We got a sentry. It's not bad at all.
Nice. Gets one observer as well. I don't know if he saw the second in range. I think he did because he's moving down to try and take it out right now, and there it goes. Uh-oh, but here's the drop inside of the main.
This is going to be a little bit rougher to handle here because of the sentry energy.
We do have medevacs coming. Medevacs are coming up, but they're, what, 35 seconds away, something like that? Yeah.
A little while, yeah. 2 sentries gradually tickling the command center to death. He's going to need a few more units.
That was really smart by Select, too. We actually hung that orbital command there so the sentries wouldn't think to go attack anything else. And so they just sat there and took damage or really didn't kill any SCVs, which was the important thing. And now that one Zealot's gone, these SCVs could probably surround the Zealots here pretty soon without taking that much more damage.
It could be controlled a little bit better, I got to say, by San. He's not really doing a whole lot other than prevent mining time. Oh, there's the medevacs. He's got to make a run for it.
Yep.
And he does.
And don't forget, guys, this is being played on the Korean server, so I mean, it's not like, you know, lags interfering or we have any issues there or anything like that. It is a straight-up match. But I've got to say, San's macro has still been quite good. He is up by 20 supply.
He's getting those cannons just like he said he would. Nice. Templar Archives again on 2 base. Yep. San probably going to be wanting to take a third here before too long. I mean, unless he's trying to do some sort of big 2-base timing. But, you know, if you do something like that, I don't know if you'd be really investing in cannons and things like that at this point. So we'll have to kind of wait and see what happens.
Well, it looks like it's already coming up now for Select. But like I said, man, San, he has just been playing so well. His macro's been so good. He's already up to 62 probes, as a matter of fact. So he's going to be slightly oversaturated here. He will need that 3rd base, as you suggested.
There goes the probe to do just that, probably.
And here comes Select, though. He's making his way out across the map. No, stops there for a little while and builds a pylon.
Yeah, he knows the army of Select is coming, so he's going to need to be careful with that. What are those medevacs doing, man?
I don't know.
All right, just scouting medevacs.
That that happened
to draw the army out, possibly.
Yeah, that happened as well on Tal'Dorei Malter versus Freaky. He got those medevacs way ahead and almost got one picked off.
Oh, they are faster, but not as fast as they should be.
No Terran bias.
No bias at all. None at all. All right, well, Select might be able to get in here and cause a cancel on this Nexus.
See here, upgrades are pretty good for...
Looks like you can.
Oh, yeah, it looks like actually Select does have a small advantage in upgrades. It looks like he was trying to bait out a force field, but ends up falling to it a second. But nice lift right away, and Select prevents a lot of that damage from being done.
Yeah, very brave move by Select to try to do that. Oh, getting feedbacked on both of the medevacs.
That could have been bad.
Oops. Yeah, he's got to be careful about that. A little bit too aggressive here, and the Archon's going to take some pot shots.
Ooh, goes down. good win for Select there. Is he going to try and run back up? No, I think there's just too much here for San. He is still quite far ahead in supply, but now with Select establishing his third base and continuing to produce after this just farm of barracks, he'll be just fine.
I love this because this is going to make Select play a different sort of game than we've been seeing from him. He's going to have to play the kind of contain game at this point. He's going to do everything he can to try to keep San from taking a third. We're probably going to see him kind of hang out around this side of the map and just try to keep his third safe and prevent San from taking his third. And this is kind of where I think Select falters once in a while. His aggression gets the better of him. He makes mistakes.
Sure.
So San, it's gonna be tough for him to hold that third, but at the same time, I think he's forcing Select into a position he doesn't want to be in. He wants to do stuff like this.
Yes.
Wants to drop, but San's gonna say no.
San
drops for you.
An observer in perfect position. Like we said before, San knows his opponent. And
at the natural.
He is plenty prepared. And yes, you are right. A little bit of an attack through the natural. Oh, that Archon gets outside of the range of the Guardian Shield there. And it looks like here comes a drop. That's really not going to do a lot, though.
No, I can't believe he tried to drop right in range of that cannon. That did not work at all.
May have queued up the drop and then attacked through the front and worried about microing that.
Yeah, I think you're probably right in that case. But now Select is going to be like, all right, what do I do? Maybe I'll just kill this Warp Prism. Oh, man.
Well, that's a pretty good win.
Yeah, he's like, I think that was a good idea. Warp Prism dead.
Yeah, right. No, awesome. Definitely good. Definitely good. 3-3 is on the way. We also have those Select Ghosts that you were talking about are now coming up, but that is a pretty good force. Yeah, and they all do have charge as well. None of the Ghosts are out on the field quite yet, so no EMPs can hit, and those were some pretty good force fields.
Yeah, not terribly bad, but the engagement is still looking okay for Select. I think there's just too many Zealots, though. Yeah, he's dropping things off. I don't know. He may just want to make a run for it here.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Somehow, even though San was not getting the better of engagements or drops or anything like that, or doing a ton of damage initially, he has still found a way to just be a macro beast, even down a base for a long period of time.
Well, when you've got that many Zealots out and your opponent doesn't have EMPs yet, you can just kind of bully them around with them, especially if you're going like Zealot Archon. So you'll have to see. I think he's got some EMPs on his Ghosts now, so I don't know if San will be able to really push this, but he's going to be the one doing the containing now.
I definitely agree with you. We'll see if Select can sit on 3 base. He is! As a matter of fact, he's got to get back with those Ghosts. A couple of EMPs lands on the Zealots that were up at the front, but nothing hits the primary casters here at the back. Looks like finally those Zealots are going to run away, but that was about, let's see, San actually lost about 12 supply of his advantage there.
Yeah, he does some damage with it. Select not producing a ton of Ghosts here. Yeah. And San does have the supply advantage. Storm almost done as well.
Yeah.
And once that finishes, Select is going to need to rely on his Ghost control. Otherwise, San is just going to start winning fights left and right.
Nice job running up with a few units
there.
Look out, Probe. We'll take that out. And this is actually kind of turning into that good game I was hoping it was going to be. As now we're comfortably on 3 base versus 3 base. Looks like San has an 11 worker advantage, but of course, Select does have 5 mules down at a time, and his production is looking pretty good himself. So this is going to make for a pretty compelling PvT.
It's really cool. I mean, you can really see that San knows what he's doing on this map. You can see why he picked it.
Yes.
He's protecting himself from drops. He's expanding. He's going for just kind of a really strong composition, getting that Templar tech on 2 bases while he takes his third. Just because he kind of is counting on Select not getting Ghosts as early.
Sure.
He read his opponent really, really well. And look at that. Now he's got a 4th coming out, and this is getting into the territory where Protosses are starting to feel really comfortable on this map.
Yeah, Select's got his 4th coming up as well, but he's not moved out on the map to go ahead and take advantage of that. Ooh, a few units, and San actually has to watch out because Select could actually trap this army. Moves up, kills 1 Stalker, and he's going to try and stim up and do a little bit more damage. A drop was trying to come in with some Templar on the right-hand side, but Select kills quite a few units, and there's the Storms, and they do so much damage. Much damage dealt out there. Looks like the Ghosts were running up to the front.
Yeah, really nicely done by San, protecting those Ghosts from protecting those High Templar from the Ghosts.
Yes.
With the Warp Prism, we see a lot of players doing that now. It takes a lot of micro, it takes a lot of multitasking, but players like San can easily pull it off. And so now, at this point, Select is like, well, what do I do? You know, my EMPs can't really hit a whole lot other than the Archons, per se.
It looks like 3-3 is done for Select, and +3 weapons is just about to finish up for San. He does have 2 Colossi actually being produced at a time right now, so he will eventually make the switch. But of course, because there was no threat of Colossi initially, Select was able to just invest purely in bio. Didn't have to worry about any Vikings, and here come the Templar drops. And a couple of Templar dropping down, not throwing any Storms. There they go. Few units coming back for Select now, but a good job denying some economy there.
Yep, and the turrets go up right away, so that won't happen again. I really like that Select is making, or has made rather, a sensor tower.
Yes.
I think sensor towers are finally starting to get used like they should be in all the Terran matchups.
Agreed.
And on a map like that, just look how much space Set covers. He's going to be able to really kind of defend things well that way.
Yeah, you're definitely right, as, wow, that does actually cover quite a bit of space, and basically every attack path. The only thing it doesn't watch is where this forward pylon is going to warp into the planetary fortress over here.
And that's exactly why San went there.
Yeah, it's a good point. All right, well, 2 medevacs full of Marauders there. Both our players are basically maxed and starting to bank resources. San has been sitting on his 4th base a little bit longer than his opponent. We do have a couple of Colossi up, but now there's some Vikings out there as well, along with that huge fleet of Ghosts, and that really is a fleet.
Yeah, he's got to be careful not to lose them, though. EMP some Zealots.
Yeah, he's got to watch out for the Templar sitting up at the back. Again, very well protected by San.
Well, I think what Select is going to wait for those Templar to drop out, then he's going to snipe. Snipe has such a great range here. And this harassment, nice decision by San, not San, by Select to put a planetary there rather than just an orbital. I can't talk suddenly. It's tempting to put down orbitals there.
DT's coming through though, and the missile turret is nice scan right away. Select knew that they were coming in, and very nice job. He is going to take out those DTs with the planetary fortress.
Yeah, that whole position saved the day there. But the entire army is showing up now. You know what though? That's not going to be the best positioning though when Select's army gets there. So you need to be careful. Nice snipes. There's the snipes on the High Templar.
Yeah, and he's going to roll his way up. He does have that double Marauder drop over on the right-hand side, but it's not done anything quite yet. Wow, this front line of Zealots is actually just getting decimated, but some great feedbacks going down, and a lot of Select's Ghosts have died.
Yeah, but the EMPs have already done their job. They traded Templar and Ghosts. Select still has a lot of Templar alive. Nice little attack here at this base as well, forcing San to warp in elsewhere rather than bolster his own army. And Select is really starting to push San around on this map.
All right, well, we'll see if he can maintain it right now. Looks like these Zealots and DTs warping in are going to be enough. Select does actually pick up, moves away, but he is still pursuing this army right through the middle. Picks off a Colossus. Wow. Nice storms, though.
Oop. Yeah, both these guys playing really well, but Select, I am just blown away by this guy today. He is really just playing a lot of situations about as perfectly as you could hope for. Obviously, that's not going to do a whole lot.
Nice scans, though.
Is he actually going to kill those DTs? Wow.
Yeah. Their DPS is really high, but it looks like he is eventually going to clear them off. It looks like we're going to have that engagement through the middle right now. The Vikings are actually sitting over to the side. It looks like the Colossi are going to fall, but some storms now starting to hit those units. Looks like Select eats some big storms, though. Starting to fall back a little bit, and he has still not successfully killed this 4th base from San quite yet, which means that it is going to be harder for him to reinforce when these armies do eventually die. But he has so much stuff left over. Maybe he can just outright push and start denying some economy himself.
Those storms were incredible, man. I mean, I thought without Ghosts, I thought because of those feedbacks he wouldn't be able to come out on top, but he really did. Somehow miraculously those Vikings took down the Colossi before they did too much damage. Man,
my
I'm
God.
watching this and I'm thinking that Doors song, Riders on the Storm. That's what it sounds like, man. I mean, for Select to go through that and come out the other side with such a strong bioforce, San has got to be shaking in his Protoss metal alloy futuristic boots or whatever they are.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next Jim Morrison. Looks like warp gates are going to fall, but they're buffering damage to allow San's force to get into position. It looks like Select wants to engage right now. Storms hitting the units up at the front. The Colossus actually didn't last all that long. These Archons aren't able to take any damage, and actually the Zealots were trapped behind as well, so the Ghosts doing a pretty good amount of damage to them. This DT actually did a nice job picking off some Ghosts on the left-hand side of the map, but Select slowly getting pushed back here, and he is slowly falling back in supply overall as well.
Yep, looks like the 4th got denied there for a little bit. One nice thing for San is that he is keeping Select down to fewer bases than he would like to as well. San's, Select, let me back up, isn't really able to make the amount of Ghosts that I think he would like to right now, which is something that he really needs. On the other side of things, San is having to put a lot of resources into a large number of very expensive units.
Yes.
And that's going okay for Select. I don't know about this. I think this is a little bit premature here by Select.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting for. Yep. I was waiting for him to overcommit and storms to hit, and hit they did. And now Select is back by 40 supply, and he is on the run, losing those medevacs, and it looks like he is going to lose a lot of stuff. The medevac goes down as well. 70 supply down now for Select, and after this incredible run where he knocks out 3 members of NSHoSeo, he certainly has an uphill fight to try and win this game because San is looking so good.
That's going to help, though. It's kind of nice to catch Archon and Colossus off by themselves.
Yeah, definitely. And more units starting to roll up now for San. It is 78 workers to 45, so you can take that out of the supply and see that the armies are about, 30 supply apart, give or take. Of course, as you mentioned before, they're very expensive units, but pretty cost-effective ones as well. Yeah. San does have some very high tech rolling at his opponent.
Yeah, the problems that Select is running into is the problems that nearly every Terran runs into on this map, where you get to the point where that really strong AoE damage late-game Protoss army that they can make is just way too good at controlling these running paths here.
Yeah, definitely. Looks like San is just going to try and press it home right now. Select is making as much as he can right now, but he's got so much gas and just no minerals to go along with it. He's trying to produce whatever he can, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. There's the Storms thrown down at first. Very nice control out of those by San this entire game.
Yeah, I think it's the end of the road for Select here. San looking like he could really push in at any time and end this game. He might decide to go up to the 4th first and just make sure that Select is doing as little mining as possible. And look at that, San taking his 5th up at the top right part of the map as well.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, I think he's just going to go for it.
Not many ghosts have been able to pop out as well. In fact, there's none on the field right now, so the lack of EMPs is really going to hurt.
Well, ghosts are really mineral-heavy units. 200 minerals, and this is going to be about it. Just way too much AoE for Select to deal with. It was a great run, but San picked the right map, picked the right strategy, played the right defense against Select, and there's GG. NSHoSeo.San bringing it back, tying things up 3-3.
Yeah, wow. What an incredible run by Select, though. Congratulations to NSHoSeo, though, as they have even things up, as you mentioned.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to head to that game number 7 here in just a second.